Welcome to the 3 simple steps for identifying your needs and wants. Notice the quote on this slide. To get what you want out of life, you better be clear about what you want. When was the last time you asked yourself, what do I truly need? And what do I really want? For many of us, acknowledging what we need and want is a major challenge. For any number of reasons, we can't or won't allow ourselves to put ourselves first. And yet, identifying our needs and wants is an important step in understanding our priorities and making informed decisions about our lives. Being clear on your needs helps you be accountable for taking action in areas of your life that truly matter, for example, maintaining health or career development. Acknowledging your wants without feeling guilty gives you the freedom to pursue enjoyment, but it also encourages you to make mindful choices rather than impulsive decisions. In essence, identifying your needs and wants helps you live a more balanced, intentional, and sustainable life. It empowers you to make decisions that align with your true values and long-term well-being, rather than being driven by fleeting desires or external pressures. This quick video will help you gain clarity on your needs and wants, which will enable you to make more meaningful choices and take consistent action. Because regardless of what your present circumstances are, or what you want to have, be, do, or change in the future, you'll be happier, or at least more willing to show up and do the work if you can address what is most important to you. So let's start by defining these 2 terms. A need is something you must have, something you can't do without, things that are essential for survival, health, and security. For example, food, clothing, shelter. These are usually non-negotiable in terms of sustaining your well-being. There are also needs that might be important to you to function as a member of society, such as reliable transportation, affordable health insurance, or childcare. Needs tend to be consistent and long-lasting. For example, you always need food, shelter, and some kind of health care, and support your long-term well-being and goals, such as maintaining good health. In addition, over and above basic survival needs, we each have a unique set of personal needs that must be met in order for us to thrive and to be at our best. Some examples of personal needs include accomplishment, connection, independence, intellectual stimulation, or solitude. Now, a want is something that you'd like to have, something you desire, but you could probably live without, things that enhance your life but aren't essential for survival. Some examples of wants are going back to school to start, continue, or finish your education, or learning to play a musical instrument. Wants are usually temporary and based on trends, emotions, or specific desires or circumstances that can change over time. For example, a desire for the latest smartphone or a desire to travel. Wants might be distractions or things that temporarily satisfy you, but don't necessarily contribute to your long-term happiness or well-being. So, now that you know the difference between a need and a want, this slide shows you 3 basic questions you can ask yourself to help you decide if something is a need or a want. Number 1, can I live without this? If the answer is no, it's likely a need. Otherwise, it's a want. Number 2, does this serve a basic function, health, safety, survival? If it does, it's likely a need. Otherwise, it's a want. Number 3, would I be okay without it for a while? If yes, it's probably a want. Otherwise, it's a need. So, for example, given my present circumstances, my needs and wants boil down to 4 pretty basic things. Number 1, I need to keep a roof over my head. It goes without saying that I can't live without this. It serves several basic functions, and I wouldn't be okay without it for a nanosecond. I'd never survive not being sheltered. I don't even like camping, which to me means just three things: being wet, cold, and dirty. Number two, I need to put food on the table. Now, another thing that meets all three of the criteria on this slide, right? Of course, it would help if I like to cook, but there are always ways to get around that. My third one is I need to keep clothes on my back. No explanation needed why I can't live without this one either. On my list, number four is because I've chosen to have pets in my life, I want to give them the best possible life. Now, for me, that means getting pet insurance, purchasing the best quality dog food I can, even if it costs nearly a third of my entire budget for a month of food for me, and then getting regular, ongoing vet care. Okay, so now that you have the basics, this is when we go on to identifying your needs and wants. Notice the quote on this slide. The only opinion in all of the universe that is of true importance to you is your own. Only you can decide whether something is a need or a want. It is essential that you remember this is about you, not what you think others think should be your needs and wants. This is about you. For example, remember what I said about a want being something that doesn't necessarily contribute to your long-term happiness or well-being. Only you can make this determination for yourself. A good example is music, right? You don't need music to meet a basic survival function. However, for you, perhaps music is a need because it brings you personal satisfaction and is essential for you to not just survive, but to thrive. Then, in addition, understanding your own needs allows you to communicate them more effectively with others. It's easier to express what's truly important to you, whether it's emotional support, respect, or time alone. So, for example, remember my number four in my list of needs and wants. I want to make sure that my pets have the best life I can give them. This speaks directly to the fact that only I can decide whether something is a need or a want. So, can I or my dogs live without pet insurance, expensive dog food, or regular visits to the vet? Yes. Does it serve a basic function? No. And would I or my dogs be okay without it for a while? Probably. So, at least according to the definition of needs and wants and the answers to those three questions, this makes it a want. But for me, it's not that black and white. Some of you who have been following me for a while know that the cost of the special health care I needed for my four-legged soulmate, Kona, was $10,000 a year for 10 years. Giving him all of these things he needed to live a quality life easily made me decide that this was a need for him and me. So keeping in mind those questions that we talked about on the previous slide, now you need to define the what, the why, and the how. What do I need and want? Why do I need and want it? How important is it that I meet this need or want? And you rate that on a scale of 1, it's the least important, or 5, the most. Now, begin by describing your need and want. For example, I need to keep a roof over my head. Here's some other examples. I need or want a regular paycheck or income. I need or want to be free of debt. I need or want to be able to control my living situation or my physical environment. I need or want to be active and strong all my life. I need or want sufficient time to enjoy my hobbies and passions. I need or want more time to spend with my family and friends. I need or want to enjoy how I earn the money that meets my needs and wants. Now, try to be specific because the specifics make the difference. For example, I could say I need an income because I have bills to pay. but that's not true. The need is that I need a way to pay my bills, whether that is an income, savings, getting a roommate, or robbing a bank. Now, next thing is you need to explain to yourself why this is a need or a want. Again, be as specific as you can. Even if you write because it's one of my basic survival needs or because it will make me feel good about myself to meet this need or want, the more details you can come up with, the easier it will be to determine what must be done to meet the need or want. And then the last thing I want you to do is to rank the importance of each need or want using a scale of 1, least important, to 5, most. Now, at first glance, you may believe that all of your needs and wants deserve a 5. That might be true, but just be sure that you're clear what a 5 or even a 1 means to you. In most cases, meeting a need or a want requires time, money, energy, all of which tend to be limited resources. By identifying your needs and wants, you can prioritize how to allocate them effectively. Needs typically take precedence as they directly impact your survival, your health, or your long-term stability. Wants usually can be postponed, modified, or even eliminated if necessary, depending on your current circumstances. Once again, this is all about you. For example, maybe you identified, I need sufficient time to enjoy my hobbies and passions, and you assigned it a 5 when you ranked it. No one can disagree with you about this. Just be sure to state clearly the why in column, and then the why is going to drive how willing you are to do whatever it takes to meet this need. So I hope you've enjoyed this short video on the 3 simple steps you can follow for identifying your needs and wants. If you would like to go deeper into this subject, you can purchase the replay of my webinar entitled The Answers Are Within Identifying Your Needs and Wants, in which these 3 steps and much more are outlined. The cost is only $15 for the replay. You simply need to send an email to cracksinconsciousness@gmail.com for information on how to purchase and view the replay. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.